All right, guys, welcome back to Take It to the House. Week 2 and week 3 of football are in the wraps. I am joined with Thatcher today. No Tarzan because he is a bozo and we don't know what he's doing. So it's just
He
gonna be me and
doesn't
Thatcher.
he doesn't text us, so basically other than when we're on the podcast, we don't know what's going on with his life.
And the funny part was is that we were supposed to play with him yesterday, play Fortnite or something yesterday with him, and he never like answered at all. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess he
I
was
mean, he's probably
depressed.
depressed because of Nick Chubb, but like he
Yeah,
also just doesn't talk to us. So
yeah.
good
So
thing he's majoring in communications.
he's doing a really great job at it. But hope you guys had a great weekend. A lot of action, mostly with football. I think some big games as well. A lot of upsets as well. So we'll jump right into it as we have new AP rankings. Some notable ones to look at is Ohio State is now 6. They've been 6 for like the last 2 weeks. Florida State is now 4. They were 3 last week, but they did drop because they almost lost to Boston College,
Yeah.
31-29. Tennessee is now 23 after being upsetted by Florida, which was really big, and that was in the swamp. So that was a big upset alert game for sure, just
Did you
because it's
see
a
though that
swamp.
Joe Milton last year said that he doesn't lose in the swamp and then he lost in the
And then
swamp?
he lost in the swamp. And then Florida is now 25 since they beat Tennessee. And Washington, Oregon are still actually Oregon's 10 now. They were 13. Utah's 11. Washington is still 8. Penn State is still 7. Everything else is the same. Notre Dame's still 9. So
Colorado moved down
Colorado
one.
moved down one spot. We will go over that game in a minute. But those are most notable ones. Kansas State did drop out because they were upset by Mizzou on a 61-yard field goal game winner, which was freaking nuts to watch. I was at work and I
Yeah.
was just like losing my mind. So that was really crazy. But what game really surprised you last Saturday?
Um, I don't know if any surprised me. I think for me is how close. Hi. Sorry, my dog's whining. Is how close Colorado State was is probably the surprise for me. Um, Also, okay, again, we hate BYU, but also quick shout out to BYU because they went to Arkansas and beat Arkansas, and that's not an easy thing to do to go to an SEC team and win. So that's impressive. But I would say probably the Colorado State, just because there weren't a whole. I mean, yeah, like the Kansas State one upset. I think how bad Alabama are right now too. Like they only beat USF by 14, and in years past, that's a game they win by 40 plus. So it's not looking good over there.
No, and they played two different quarterbacks.
And then Milrow was named the starter, right?
Yes, Milrow is now starting for week 4 as conference play starts this week. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Colorado State, I think was probably the best game of the weekend, honestly. Just because Colorado is coming in with all this hype and
Right.
Colorado
Well,
State just kind of entered in and kind of like, all right, we got a dogfight, let's
yeah.
go. And
Well,
I
and I
and this is
think
in-state rivalry too, so like I totally get
right.
it.
Yeah, well, and I think what you and I think it was Kenzie that we talked about yesterday in class about like they put Colorado by acting the way that they're acting are putting a target on their back.
Mhm.
And there were many moments in this game that were reflective of that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And obviously Colorado came out in overtime by a touchdown, 42-35. But there was a lot of chip in. Travis Hunter did end up getting hurting. He had a lacerated liver,
Mm-hmm.
so he's out
He's
for a
out
couple of
three to
weeks.
4 weeks.
But
Um,
but there was a video of him saying that's just football. Everything's
Yeah, I was
fine.
just gonna mention that. Yeah. So for the player who hit him, I can't remember his name right now. But he was getting death threats, which is ridiculous. Now whether or not it was a dirty hit, which I think it was probably not a clean hit, but I also think it's being a little blown out of proportion. I mean, when you're in the heat of the moment and things are going so fast, football's a fast game. Like once that snap goes and play starts, it's fast. And like I don't know. Was it dirty? Probably, but like, do I blame him super? Like, am I like, he's ridiculous? You should be like, no. Like, it's a football hit. And also, I'm going to be honest, like, I'm not saying he deserved it. I'm saying that Travis Hunter as well as the rest of Colorado, are putting a target on themselves because of
Is a prime.
because of the way that they're acting. Travis and Shador aren't acting very maturely. Let's be real. Okay, the the things that I like about Colorado are very small because I'm a little over it, but the players are really like Shador and Travis and what's the other Sanders kid name?
Shiloh, I
All
think,
of those really good players. Really good players. But like I don't like the flexing your Rolex before the game
or after the
and
game.
or after the game. I don't like that. Like, and I know that a lot of people are gonna like it and they're gonna say, well, it's just because it's not you. And it's like, no, like we have a very good football team here in Utah who don't act like that. And I like that. I also kind of like that people won't talk about Utah and then they'll talk about Colorado and then we'll just slide under the radar. Um,
I feel
but
like
it's just
that's what definitely happened the last 2 years too with Utah.
right. And you just shouldn't. I don't know. I don't care. Even in professional sports, you shouldn't be acting like that. You shouldn't be going and like flexing your watch and stuff like that. Like, it's just like, dude, like, well, and do you really think the Colorado State players care about your watch? I,
Uh,
I'd be
just
like, congrats.
gives them more motivations to beat the shit
Right.
out of them.
So I think credit goes to Colorado State. And I think Colorado need to shape up because if they play like that, Oregon will slaughter them.
And we're hoping they slaughter them. We talked about
I
it
think it would be
yesterday.
good. I think it'd be good. Maybe even if they don't get slaughtered, but if it's like, 35-21 or something like that, where it's big enough where Colorado can maybe humble themselves a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe good.
absolutely.
But let's get one thing straight. Shador Sanders is special. He is.
Yeah.
Like everybody's on about Travis Hunter, which is amazing because nobody plays like that anymore. Nobody plays both sides of the ball.
But who gives
However,
Travis Hunter the ball on offense? Shador.
right. But Shador is just that drive where he had what a minute left on the clock. He had to go 96 yards, 98 yards in like a minute. Yeah,
Yeah, they
it
did in
was
like
it was
45
nuts.
seconds.
Right, it was so crazy.
So I think another notable game is Kansas and Nevada. Almost pretty close. Kansas almost losing to a Mountain West team.
Yeah, another Mountain West team pulling up.
Mm-hmm. One of my old teammates plays there too. Stone, shout out. But
Nice.
yeah. And I believe that will be it for scores from last week. So notable games is that number 11 Utah is hosting UCLA. They
What
are
ranked the other
they're
20
23, 22,
there? That's gonna be a
22.
really good game,
So
and
that'll
I
be a
will
really
be.
good game. Cam Rising is still questionable for Utah, so we will see.
He won't play.
I don't think he'll play,
No.
but we will see. I mean, he's been practicing full from what I've been hearing, so we will find out probably game day. Honestly, it
Yeah,
sounds like a game time decision to me. Number 6, Ohio State is at Notre Dame. Number 9, Notre Dame. I
that's a
believe
really good game.
that's going to be a really good game. I think College Game Day will be there this week. That's most likely the location. If not, then it's going to be in Eugene for Colorado and Oregon.
There's
Number
your
9,
other notable game,
there's
Colorado and Oregon.
our other notable game
So
is Colorado at Oregon. So, and then Ole Miss will be at number 13, Alabama. That will also be another good one. Dart coming off a really big game. A
I
lot
think
of
Ole Miss could
rushing.
beat Bama for sure.
I think Ole Miss could also beat Bama. Milroe will start, as we mentioned earlier. I think they've probably settled on the quarterback. That doesn't like the idea of Milroe, but
Well, I don't. I mean, it's not like the other guy's any better. I'm
no.
just saying that what I saw of Milrow, I'm like, oh, rough.
Granted, it was against Tennessee too. Or sorry, not
Texas.
Tennessee, Texas. Excuse me.
Well, and yeah, I mean, and the thing is too, I think what you need to do is you just need to stick with him because what is it going to do? It's like when Tua came into the league and they kept going, okay, Tua, you made a mistake, Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's like you can't be having that. So I think they need to choose their
Yeah, and
guy
then
and
literally the
just
same
ride it
thing
out.
with Mac Jones.
Right, like choose your guy and ride it out.
Yeah, excuse me. Arkansas is at LSU. That's gonna be another good one. Their quarterback, dude, is just crazy. Arkansas's quarterback. Same with Jalen Daniels for
I was
LSU.
going to say, careful there. Yeah. Well, shout out to LSU's wide receiver too for catching 283 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
Number
it's
14, Oregon
LSU are going to
State.
crush them.
Yeah. Number
calling it.
14, Oregon State at number 21,
That's
Wazoo.
a really good game. Like
That's
for
gonna
people
be
who really know their college football right now, that's a really good game.
it's gonna be a big quarterback battle this week, I
Yeah.
feel like. Number 3, Texas at Baylor. I think we all know it's gonna be.
Baylor's not a good football team.
No. No. Especially they're missing Blake Shapen still. I don't think he'll be back this week. I think it's next week he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I should just ask Caleb because he knows so much about Baylor.
Whatever.
Whatever. And then we have number 4, Florida State at Clemson.
Yeah, and then I said that could be a trap game. Like
And
I think
you're
that
also saying Utah and UCLA was a trap game too.
yeah, Utah and UCLA is 1000% a trap game. But what? Hang on. What is your problem, Duncan?
We might
What's
have
your
a guest.
problem?
We might have a guest appearance from Duncan the corgi.
No, he's just sitting in the crate whining. I don't know what your problem is. Can you stop? Okay. I just think that Florida State, well, and I think if Florida State go and beat Clemson by like 2-3 scores, then cool. But I think that I think Clemson's not an easy place to go. So I think that they could make that a really difficult game.
Yeah, I think both. I think Clemson is Florida State's gonna be an upset alert. So, as well as Utah, just because we lost to UCLA last year. So, we will see about that. But I think also Colorado could be on upset alert as well, just because Oregon has been
That's
playing.
not an upset though.
I mean, sorry, opposite. Oregon's on upset alert as well. So,
I don't think either is an upset, to be honest. Like if either were to win, I don't feel like it'd be an upset either way.
yeah. But would if say Colorado does beat Oregon, where would you
That's
put
an
Oregon?
upset. Yeah.
Like, where would you put Oregon on AP? Like, spot
So if
Colorado's
Oregon
in?
lost to Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
so let's say that everybody else stays where they stay then, or like everybody. So let's say
Let's
that
just say,
so hang on,
like,
hang on. Give me the top 15.
excuse me,
Actually, no. Give me 10 to 15.
10
Give
or
me that.
15.
Yeah.
Oregon, Utah, LSU, Bama, Oregon State, Ole Miss.
Okay. So let's say that. So here's our hypothetical here. So let's say that Bama, we both think they could lose to Ole Miss. So let's just say they lose to Ole Miss. Bama loses to Ole Miss, and Oregon State beats Wazoo.
Right.
So I think, and then Utah beats UCLA. So I think Utah would move up to 10 because just go that way. LSU wins, so LSU goes up. I think Ole Miss maybe would be right underneath because if they upset Bama, so that's what 13, and then no, that's 12 because
12 because
Utah 10, and then I think you put Ole Miss there at 11, and then LSU 12, and then I think you probably put
Oregon State at 13.
Oregon State at 13. Who's 14 right now?
Oregon State.
Okay, who's 15?
Ole Miss.
Okay. Well, then I'd have Bama dropping out.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd have, or then maybe you do Oregon, Bama.
Yeah, Oregon,
depending
Bama.
on how bad the loss is. Yeah.
Yeah. Colorado goes up to where?
Oh, Colorado needs to go up then. Colorado go up to 14 or 15 for me. Because you still have to be careful with these rankings because I still think that I feel like there shouldn't be rankings until after week 3, after conference play starts. Because when you have teams like, I don't know, even like when you look at Colorado, right? Like they've played, TCU, that's a notable game. But then you have Nebraska, who aren't good right now. You have Colorado State. I don't feel like they're being judged properly. Same with Utah, right? Like we played Florida. That's a big game. Baylor, you go to Baylor. It's not an easy game, but they're not a good team. And then you play Weber State. It's like, are we really 11th in the nation right now based on that? No. But it's based on where last year's ended too. So I would probably say if Oregon loses, and then Bama loses, then I think Oregon and Bama go down
15, 16.
Yeah, and then I think Colorado you maybe give 13 or 12.
Okay.
Because I think if you beat number 10, you should move up quite a bit, right? But I don't think that they should move above Utah.
Yeah, or like Notre Dame or Washington,
right.
Penn State.
So I think there's a lot that could happen. I think this weekend has a lot of movement potential.
Yeah. I
So
think probably the biggest game for AP ranking team, like AP ranked teams, is probably Ohio State and Notre Dame.
yeah, I would say that, and then I would also say Oregon, Colorado, just
Colorado.
because Colorado's 19 and Oregon's 10. That's a big enough gap where if Colorado were to upset them, then that would shake things up.
Yeah, 100%.
So
And who knows what happens? Texas, Florida State loses too.
right, like it could get crazy.
Yeah,
So
Florida State's on upset alert too, I feel like at this point.
yeah, so
Hell, even Texas, because this is an in-state rivalry game too. This is an in-state,
yeah, I
or
mean,
sorry, in
I
conference
still
rivalry.
think I still think they cruise, but who
Yeah,
knows?
Quinn Ewers is him.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers is him. Cool. Should we move on to NFL then?
Yeah. Do you want to take a break before?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Dope. Be back in 10 seconds, boys and girls. All right, guys, we are back. We got some NFL stuff to go over, and then we got some Champions League stuff to go over, as well as some crazy fantasy stuff that's been happening in our league. But we are going to start out with some notable players that have gone on IR. As of yesterday, or Monday, as we're going to see this Wednesday, Nick Chubb is being placed on IR. He's out for the rest of the season. If you guys watched the replay of his injury,
It's gruesome, man. Like his
gruesome.
leg literally.
It was bad. He tore his LCL, his MCL, and his PCL, and also had some cartilage damaged. So we will see if he will be bouncing back or if that's going to be career ending or
I was
what.
gonna say because it really could be when
Because
you
that's what
tear
happened to
that
Bridgewater
many.
too.
Yeah, I mean, all we know is that he won't be the same when he comes back. If he comes back, he's not gonna be like you can't give him the ball 20 times a game anymore.
No.
So I feel really bad, especially because Elijah is a Browns fan and like he's our homie, and it's just like that sucks. So
And
hopefully,
my fantasy team is kind of like messed up now. So
hopefully Chubb is able to make a recovery and come back next year.
yes. Saquon Barkley will be week to week because of his high ankle sprain. Or sorry, it was an ankle sprain,
That
not
one's
high
ruining
ankle.
my fantasy.
Yeah, it's ruining mine too. But he's week to week, considered week to week. But
Dable even said he could go Thursday, which there's no way they
no way. Are you trying to aggravate that injury more and
Well,
make it
especially against the
worse?
Niners. First of all, you're already going to lose that game. So why play him?
Yeah, like one of the best defenses in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But then
And
you have a
then,
long week.
yeah,
You have like a
you got a
week and a
long
half
week.
to
Yeah,
recover. So just maybe, just don't. He better not play on Thursday.
if he plays, no, he shouldn't play on Thursday. That's
Mm-mm.
just dumb.
Yeah.
That's just stupid. I would just much rather play Matt Burrito for the week
Yeah.
and whoever else you have.
Right.
Greg Dulcich is on IR right now, at least out for 4 weeks with a hamstring injury. Caden Stearns is out for the rest of the year with a knee injury. Broncos secondary is just looking really bad, dude. They're
Yeah.
losing everybody.
And then, Deontay Johnson too. He's out.
Also with a hamstring injury, and same
Yeah.
with Buda Baker.
Yeah.
A lot of
So
hamstring injuries because of the
lots of
turf.
hamstring injuries, lots of IR
Knees.
slots. So.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the point where we're gonna give our takeaways. We're gonna start making this a regular thing, so then it's kind of easier for us to kind of touch on the stuff that we want to touch on. So if you don't know how it works, we're gonna give 5 takeaways from the weekend. 2 of them are gonna be from our own teams, and then 3 of them for the rest of the league. So Zach, why don't you go first this week?
Yeah, for those who are just joining us, I'm a Broncos fan. Thatcher is a Saints fan, and Elijah, who is usually here with us, he's in today. He's a Browns fan.
Yeah.
He's a big Cleveland guy. So, um, I have. I'm gonna do the opposite teams first before I do my favorite. Justin Fields is struggling a lot. He is not looking like the guy he was in Ohio State. Sure, you had weapons like Olave and Garrett Wilson and Jackson Smith and Jigba, but you're not doing good. DJ Moore is not the one guy who you're going to be a weapon. So I also think it's also the play calling for the Bears as well. They're kind of kind of designing Fields to be like their main guy and not sharing the ball as well. I mean, seriously, you got Khalil Herbert, you got Deontay Foreman. Like, dude, you have such good playmakers on the ball. So Big Kirko is not dripping right now.
It's
Vikings are
bad.
0 the Vikings are 0-2. They did lose to the Eagles on Thursday. So Big Kirko is not dripping right now, as he was
Mm-mm.
last year. So we'll see if he'll have a bounce back. I'm thinking about trading for him in fantasy, but I don't know yet. And the Bengals are not looking too hot right now. Joe Burrow
Yeah.
has been playing absolutely doo-doo the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry for all your Joe Burrow fans and girls who love Joe Burrow's face, but Joe Burrow is not playing good right now, and he needs to get this stuff together. Yes, they did start 0-2 last year, and then they made it to the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs for the second year in a row, but we don't know how things are going to turn out right now. So Joe Burrow needs to get his stuff together. And for my team, our defensive play calling needs to get better. That was probably the worst defensive play calling I've ever seen, and they lost to the Commanders. Granted, it could have been a PI and not 2-point conversion. I think it was. Everybody else is different. Like we all have our own opinions.
You also blew an 18-point lead.
We also blew an 18-point lead. That's why I'm saying
That's the
defense played
problem.
atrocious. That
Right.
was the problem. And then Russ is not cooked. He's looking super good. 304 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 INT. Russ isn't cooked. And he's the first player in NFL history to have 40,000 passing yards and 5,000 rushing yards, which I think is kind of crazy as well. But those are my takeaways. I think Vance Joseph is just a horrible play caller right now and needs to get his stuff together. And yeah, Sean Payton obviously addressed it already. All right, Thatcher,
Okay.
that's all you, bud.
Yeah, those are good ones. The Fields one was definitely gonna be one of mine, so I'll choose different ones. But I'll do the same. I'll go 3-2. The Dolphins are probably the best team in the AFC right now. They look really, really good. Their defense has been good. Now that the second game, their defense looks better than the first game, but you're also going up against the Chargers, who probably have one of the better offenses in the league. So I'd say the Dolphins just look really, really good. And I would be really scared if I were you because I think they're gonna tear you guys apart.
Dude, their secondary
Um,
is loaded.
yeah, and like think about like your secondary versus Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, like
Yeah,
so
it's gonna be a bad week for
yeah.
Denver.
Um, so I'd say that I think currently they're the best team in the AFC. The Dolphins are.
Who would you say is the best team in the NFC right now?
Probably the Cowboys.
Cowboys or Eagles, maybe?
Yeah, the Cowboys have looked more convincing in their two games, but they've also played worse teams.
They're playing the New
Like
York teams first 2 weeks,
right. So, but they look really good. But I would say the bigger takeaway for me is that I think Bills right now are the best in the AFC. This kind of has to do with my team, and not really. The NFC South is going to be really competitive.
Oh
At
yeah.
least out the gate right now, three of the teams are 2-0, and then the other ones are 0-2. But the other one is only 0-2 because they lost two division rivals. So, um, it's going to be tough. I think that teams are going to drop off a little bit though. Like I think that the Falcons won't be able to keep their winning ways going for much longer, and I think that the Bucks will eventually realize that Baker's not him.
Baker's
But
been playing pretty good though.
well, I mean, he's got good weapons and he's got good defense, so like he should be. And I'm gonna be honest, like the more we're seeing out of the Vikings, I think that the fact that they won week one isn't that surprising. And then the fact that they won week two, like they should win that game because Chicago's poo poo.
Yeah.
But I'm not to talk as a Saints fan either. We haven't played good teams and we've won both games. So NFC South's going to be competitive, and then I think the AFC West is wide open. I think your guys' division is wide open.
It's very wide
Um,
open. Two 0-2
these aren't
teams.
right, and these obviously aren't the most like exciting takes because I think that this week didn't give us a lot yet. But I think AFC West wide open because you're 0-2,
And the
and then
Chargers.
the Chargers are 0-2. The
Raiders are one
Raiders
and
are one and
one.
one.
Chiefs
Chiefs
are
are
one
one
and
and
one.
one. So it's gonna be a bloodbath in that division. It really sucks that you guys lost your game against the Raiders because that's probably one of the only gimme games of your division, at least what we thought. Um, so yeah, those are my takes. For the around the league, I think within my own team, it's gonna be the same as the last week, but our defense is elite. The
Yeah,
Saints
dude.
have a top 5, top 3 caliber defense in the NFL. And if they can stay healthy and they can stay playing the way that they're playing, like I literally cannot see anybody. The only touchdown that the Saints have allowed this season was on the last drive of last night, where it was just they were pretty much in prevent defense because it was like there was a minute and a half left. So annoying touchdown to give away, but only one touchdown given away in your 2 games is huge. They're also finding ways to just stop teams in the red zone, which is really, really nice. So they forced Carolina into 2 field goals, I believe, in the red zone. And then they also forced a fumble and recovered that fumble in the red zone for Carolina.
Yeah,
So I think
three interceptions too, right?
that was last week, but yeah. So it's just they're finding ways to get stops too. So defense is elite. Our offensive line is really struggling. And a lot of people say that Derek Carr played poorly last night. I disagree. I think that now the interception that Derek Carr threw last night might have been one of the worst I've seen in a long time. He threw it into triple coverage. It's just not good. But the problem is when Derek Carr has a clean pocket, he's a really good quarterback. But when he has to scramble and try to make a play, it's not his thing. So, but why does he have to scramble and make a play? Because the offensive line is not doing their job and the pocket is collapsing too quickly. So, Saints got to figure out their O line because when they start playing teams like now, granted, I think that Tennessee and Carolina have really good defensive fronts with like Brian Burns, and then you have like Simmons in Tennessee and a couple more. Like those are really good defensive fronts. So I don't, but I think the O line is struggling. So never apologize for how you win in the NFL. A win is a win. So I'm not gonna be like, oh well, yeah, we look pretty shaky, like we won the game. That's what it is. So, um, short week to go to Green Bay. I think we're gonna probably lose that game because there's something about it that just makes me feel like we'll probably drop that game. But
Well, and we'll see if Christian Watson's back too, because he's been out for the first 2 weeks.
yeah, and that doesn't make me like the Saints secondary is really good. What makes me nervous is that we don't have a great O line, and we're basically down to our third string running back because Jamal Williams is out now too. So
Yeah, it just came out as we were
yeah.
taking a break that he's gonna need time to recover.
So what I would say is they need to do what they did against Carolina, which is involve Taysom Hill, get him in the run game going. So
Put him a
but
tight
yeah,
end too, dude. At this point,
yeah, and I feel really good about I feel good about the fact that the Saints haven't played their best offensive football and they've still won their first 2 games. So there's a lot more to come. Hopefully, and Chris Olave is him, by the way.
that was a crazy catch yesterday.
I was so insane.
Monday
So
for you guys watching on Wednesdays.
yeah, it was really fun. But yeah,
Our
those are probably my takes.
our offense is producing really well, but we're losing games.
Right. So it's just
It's just
unfortunate.
like the
Other way
opposite.
around.
It's the
Yeah.
other way around for us.
Yeah.
And I don't know about the Browns because Elijah's not here. I'll do the
Yeah.
Browns. Elijah's. I'm gonna be you real quick. We're gonna not make the Super Bowl because Nick Chubb is out,
And we're cursed.
and we're cursed.
What
Deshaun
it
Watson
is
is
that
not it. We paid
the
him 230
the
million.
Browns the Browns overpaid. That's what they did.
Sorry,
Cool.
love you,
Those are pretty
Elijah.
much our NFL takes.
Some,
We're gonna
some,
before
some.
we
Real quick, some pretty good games coming up this week. Nola Green Bay, as Thatcher mentioned. I think that's actually going to be a really close one. Actually, Thatcher, you
yeah.
guys' defense is playing so good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look a lot like how the Monday night game looked, I think.
Yeah. Chargers at Minnesota. Chargers are struggling to get a win in their column as well. Herbert's been playing great. Their defense has been struggling a little bit. Same with Vikings and Big Kirko. Not getting JJ's involved enough.
I disagree. I just think they can't get stops.
They can't get stopped.
Jay Jettis has had almost 300 receiving yards in his first 2 games, so I
Okay,
don't
never
think it's
mind.
that. I think what it is that they can't stop
I'm just not paying attention to JJ's stats, you guys.
anybody.
Atlanta at Detroit. It's gonna be a Jameer Gibbs and Bijan Robinson battle of the rookie running backs. So I think that'll be a good one too.
Pray to the Lords.
Hey, and Atlanta's been looking really good too. First two games. Agree, disagree,
They've
middle.
looked all right. Their quarterback has thrown for like not even 300 yards in his 2 games. So,
Ritter has thrown more yards than he did first game though, let's be honest.
well, it doesn't take much. He didn't even throw 100 yards in his first game. He threw 91 passing yards.
Burrow threw 82 his first week.
Huh?
So Burrow threw like nothing basically the first week. So I don't disagree.
But I mean, I think what people need to do is just pump the brakes. I mean, I'm also a Saints fan, but I also am not going to come out and say that the Saints are looking really good either. Our defense looks really good, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That'll be a fun game. I think Detroit's going to be angry because they lost that game to the Seahawks at home. So
Yeah,
I think
especially in
that
overtime
Detroit will
too.
probably beat them. Yeah.
That was
So
the first overtime game, wasn't it? This year. Yeah.
well, well, technically, but the Titans won in overtime too.
Okay. Yeah, but no, because they played at the 225 time slot.
But I'm just saying that
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Okay. Never mind. Denver is on the road at Miami. I actually don't think it's gonna be notable games. I think Miami's gonna kick the shit out of Denver. Sorry. Broncos fans and myself as well. And then Monday night we have the Rams at Bengals. We'll see if the Bengals can bounce back. Rams have been looking really good. Puka Nacua, dude, broke a record for a rookie, like the most receptions in his first two games, which I think is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, and then Anthony Richardson's also in concussion protocol for all my fantasy dudes out there. Just
Yeah,
be
fingers
aware.
crossed that he plays because I think I'm gonna play him this week. So
There. All right, fantasy. We gotta talk about our crazy
yeah.
trades that just have happened today.
Well, and I think there's just gonna be more to come at this point. So Zach started the train with trading uh
Addison or Debo.
Addison and Debo for who'd you trade for?
Mike Williams and Tony Pollard.
So I don't hate the trade. I think that it's really I probably if I were you, I would have just done Debo for Tony Pollard, but so that's what got everything started. And then Zach and I traded today. I gave him Zach Moss and he gave me George Pickens.
Because I had Chubb.
Um, what?
Because I had
Oh yeah,
Chubb.
because Nick, yeah. So but what's looking like what's gonna happen is I think there's gonna be like a train of trades here. I'm already in talks with 3 different people right now
Are you
to figure out
serious?
stuff. Yeah, Jacob, Morgan, and Adam. I'm trying to figure out stuff with. So
Nice.
um so it'll be fun. But you guys
You're gonna laugh at this. So that our friend in our other league who owns his drinks and stuff. Yeah, he tried trading Zach Moss for Saquon,
wow.
and my dad's like, "What is he doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. Did you shut it down, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, good." And this next thing I know, I look at my phone this now, and he's accepted trade. I'm like, "What the
So you got Zach Moss and you traded away Saquon.
fuck no,
But you said he accepted it.
no? I hope not.
Oh, okay.
I haven't
Yeah.
looked. I'm hoping he did. That'd be kind of shocker if he didn't shoot that down. Because I looked at it, it was just a one player trade. I should just counter offer and gotten his best player. Let's be honest here.
I mean, Saquon is a better running back than Zach Moss. I'm sorry. I love Zach
Exactly.
Moss, but so
And I have
um
enough. We have enough depth in our running backs to.
yeah,
We'll
I
be
mean,
okay.
I think I'm looking honestly, nobody on my team right now other than Bijan Robinson is everybody's negotiable. So like, you know, I've been talking with Adam and Morgan and Jacob. But like I have my 3 wide receivers. I'm all pretty much flexible on if I want to trade any of them. So
Mhm.
like I have Amari Cooper, Garrett Wilson, and Jalen Waddle, and like I'm kind of open to trading any of them for the right running back is what I'm looking for. So, fingers crossed I can get something moving here. I have James Conner, Kyron Williams, and Javonte Williams, and then Bijan Robinson. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of running backs that I can move if I want to.
Fair, fair. I mean,
So
yeah, and you're getting a receiver for mine. So
Yeah, I have
Got
so many
Pickens.
receivers at this point, and I have Nico Collins who's playing out of his mind right now too. So I have a lot of players, but I only have one. I'm 1-1, so
Yeah.
it's just weird how things work like that. Okay, real quick before we move on to Champions League, but dude, I there was a person in my other league that had 168 fantasy points this week.
What? So Danny Jones. Is it because of Danny Dimes? I know the
Lamar
players.
Jackson, Rashad White, James Cook, T. Higgins, George Pickens, Gerald Everett, Tyler Lockett, Philadelphia's defense, and Young Hoku. And they scored 168 points.
Gerald ever scored that much points? Fuck.
Gerald Everett only gave 7.7, but you have
How?
22, 21, 19, 28, 22, 7, 25, 6, and 13.
Who got 13?
And then here you go. Another one who scored 160, 15, 18, 21, 31, 29, 3, 12, 24, 5.
I'm gonna guess one of those players was Keenan Allen or Puka.
Yep, Keenan Allen, 31. Can you guess who the 24 points was?
Andre Swift.
Nope. Pittsburgh's defense.
Wow. Oh yeah, because they had a defensive fumble return.
2 touchdowns, an interception, 3 fumble recoveries.
It's
So
crazy.
cool. All right. So
I'm
that's
trying.
gonna
I'm
do.
trying to trade Joe Burrow. By the way, I don't
Not
know what I'm
nobody's
gonna
gonna
do.
take him.
No one's
Nobody's
gonna
gonna
take him.
take him.
No one's gonna take
So Champions League is officially back. The first group stage games finished just a little bit ago. So I'll go over those real quickly. Newcastle went to Milan and drew 0-0, which is a good result for Newcastle.
him. Damn, they
Leipzig beat
drew.
Young Boys. Um, PSG beat Dortmund 2-0. Porto beat Shakhtar 3-1. City beat Red Star 3-1 after going down 1-0. I was really hoping maybe.
Yeah.
Lazio and Atletico Madrid tied 1-1. Lazio's goalkeeper scored a header in the 97th minute to get them the tie. So wild.
They
And
brought
then
their goal.
Barcelona beat Antwerp 5-0. Feyenoord to beat Celtic 2-0. That's from today's games. Tomorrow, both of our teams play. So Real Madrid will play against Union Berlin. Galatasaray play Copenhagen. Bayern play Manchester United, and Manchester United are going to get smacked up. Can't wait.
Hey,
Benfica play Salzburg.
I have the
Braga
stadium
play
and
Nap.
Lego set back there for, by the way, Manchester. I need to
Benfica
fix it.
play. Braga play Napoli. Arsenal play PSV in London. I'm very excited. Arsenal haven't been in the Champions League in like 7 years, so I'm very excited. Sevilla play Lens, and then Real Sociedad play Inter Milan. So lots of games. There's not a lot of storylines quite yet, but I think one of them will be how badly Manchester United lose tomorrow. And then I'm just so excited that Arsenal are back in the Champions League. So,
PSG
all
won,
right,
yeah.
huh?
PSG won 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, Mbappe is insane though.
yeah, he's really good.
I wish he would come to Madrid already.
Yeah, I think
Maybe next year.
there's
I
more
think
of
he
a
might.
I think there's more of a likelihood that Erling Haaland goes to Madrid than Mbappe.
I would much rather have Holling at this point
I'd take both of them.
too.
So,
But the way Jude Bellingham's been playing too, with Vinny Jr. out.
well, they don't play the same position, so it's okay. You could have all of them.
Bellingham's been playing striker mainly though.
No, he hasn't.
He was for a bit.
No, he was not.
Never?
No,
Swear to God.
no, he plays center mid.
But they moved him to striker for a bit. I know that.
No, they didn't. No, they did not.
They did,
Dude,
so.
prove it.
Well, you wanted to start doing that advice?
Yeah,
Or is it
that
just not the
advice.
same?
Without Elijah is kind of sad.
What are we gonna do about it?
It's always hard because I'm like, oh, I'll just think of it while we're recording, but I can't think of it while we're already trying to do other stuff. Um, Goodness. I don't think I've done this one. I've done stuff close to it, but don't be overreactionary. I think either way towards anything that happens, but especially when we're in a sports world, don't be overreactionary one way or another. Something happens that's good, That's good. But don't be like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Because then it's never going to be able to live up to that, or it's going to disappoint it. Don't. And then if something doesn't go your way, you know what? It sucks. We all have things that don't go our way. But instead of complaining about it and making yourself feel miserable, just try to shake it off and, go on to the next one. So, especially for sports fans, don't be overreactionary about your teams yet. Elijah would be countering that with the world's over, but whatever. Just
I
don't
would
be
too.
overreactionary one way or another.
I was really overreactionary on Sunday.
Yeah. So, and it's obviously easy for me to say as a fan of a team that's 2-0, but I think it's good life advice anyways, is that just don't overreact one way or another. If something doesn't go your way, try to, bounce back and just get it going. If something goes your way, great, but don't think that it's the best thing that's ever happened to you, because chances are it's not.
Yeah.
So
This is gonna be kind of similar to yours. Not really. If there's an opportunity that presents itself, take that opportunity to do it. I obviously didn't do it yesterday. We're not gonna talk about it. Thatcher knows what I'm talking about though. So
if
take the
you, yeah, like
if the
more like
opportunity if the opportunity is presented to you, then try to take the opportunity and game plan
because you'll,
quickly.
well, less about that and more about you'll regret the opportunities. It's the
Yeah, exactly.
100% shots that you don't take, right? You'll regret the opportunities that are given to you that you don't take. So
Exactly. Exactly.
cool.
Sorry. So we were both wrong. Ancelotti just moved him more forward by Rodriguez. So we're kind of both wrong.
Yeah, but he's still a center mid.
Yeah, he's still center mid, but he had to play striker a few games.
No, he didn't. He never
I
had to play
swear to
striker.
God. Actually,
He never had to play striker. It's just based on movement. Soccer can be,
soccer's so confusing sometimes.
I guess, just all about off-ball movement.
Yeah. Clearly, Thatcher knows more than me because he played soccer, and he also kicks my ass in FIFA. So,
And I coach soccer, so
and
I'd
he
like to
coached
say that
soccer.
I know quite a bit, but yeah. Okay,
So,
I think that's just about going to do it for this week. Hopefully Elijah will be on next week.
hey, tomorrow night, Giants in San Francisco. That's gonna be either a
tomorrow
bloodbath
for you
or
guys.
a blood. It's gonna be a blowout for one of the teams. It's gonna be a bloodbath or a blowout. One of the two.
I think San Fran are going to demolish them. But we'll
Yep.
see.
We will definitely see. And then college football, NFL, all that
We'll
jazz.
see how it goes.
See how it goes. Go check out our TikTok if you guys have not. Check out our social medias if you have not. I don't know if we'll be posting TikToks this week because we were more straightforward with today. So we'll see. But
That advice will be up there.
that advice will be up there for sure.
Yeah. So
it's gonna be more. It's more dad advice than it ever has been.
yeah.
But
okay. Cool.
Catch you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Broncos country, let's ride.
Catch you guys.
Bye guys.
Good app.